was a send-off like no other. Experience the Viaduct's final hurrah in all its glory.
It's like impressive. This is a one-time moment.
It keeps you laughing. It keeps you moving.
It helps battle isolation and increase coordination. And for these seniors, it's much more than a game.
Here we go. Let's get it on.
One organization's recipe for a long, healthy life begins from the ground up. These stories and more next on CityStream. I'm Enrique Cerna. Welcome to CityStream from the Pike Market Senior Center. Nestled within one of Seattle's most popular attractions sits the Senior Center. For many years, it's been a caring place for the city's most vulnerable to get a hot meal, but it also provides wellness activities, housing services, and a place for people to find community. More on this in a moment. In February, the public was invited to stand right there atop the Alaskan Way Viaduct to soak in the view one final time. Hours later, crews started dismantling the span that had stood more than 6 decades. And before long, the viaduct will only be a memory. But on that day, thousands of people hung out, including Diane Duthweiler, who says that the send-off was typically Seattle.
As the official parade forms on downtown's harbor steps, photographer Pete and I wait nearly alone on top of the viaduct, surprised by its wooden and weedy guardrails, others elaborately wired together, sometimes looking through cracks to the streets below.
Almost ready. Okay.
Say ahoy.
Awesome.
Ahoy.
Pirates of the Curiosity wait with us, while people with and without entry tickets wait
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
on First Ave.
Born and raised in Seattle. This is the best views in Seattle. Sad to see it go. Can't miss this.
And it looks like the parade is coming.
The Requiem ascends the Seneca Street off-ramp. Cheers. And crocodile tears.
So sad. So sad. So many traveling years. Yes. So many moments. Fine moments in the car. Yes.
Wildlife is well represented.
350 of these salmon were made by a group called Salmon is Life.
Behind the procession, a quiet stream of people starts making its way onto the gasoline-stained stage.
I wanted to ride my mobility scooter down the middle of the highway.
Why?
Because I can't ever do it ever again, and there won't be a viaduct. And yeah, so it's being part of history.
Aria asked to be interviewed so she can tell us the first car ride of her life was over the viaduct.
It was here when I came home from the hospital. It's been here my entire life. It feels like the great granddaddy viaduct. We're gonna miss it, and it's just so it's just like the ferries or the Ferris wheel.
Dwight Schaefer estimates he was about 5 when the viaduct opened.
It was like this. Everybody came out to try it out. It was a big improvement for getting through Seattle, I know.
The upper deck is now packed from Pike Place Market to Pioneer Square.
I remember when there was no I-5. And so it was view and riding and in the car and just having a view.
I have mixed feelings on it because the first time I was brought into the city, I came by way of the viaducts. I've worked down on the waterfront, I've worked downtown. It's always been here, and now to think that it's gone is kind of sad.
Architect Rob Valenti parks on the highway with his art supplies.
I've been wanting to come here, be on the viaduct for many years, but of course this is the only chance. These 6 hours are it, and I just like seeing where we live from this angle. It's just so beautiful.
Newly engaged, Emily and Brian waited to move into their new West Seattle house because of the roadway closure.
We decided to keep our Ballard apartment for another month, and then we
just moved.
People running into friends, catching up, and photos, photos, photos. The official procession over the parade of people continues. This line winds around the block to Post Alley most of the day.
When I grew up and went to the aquarium, I always looked and saw the viaduct, and now I'm letting him experience that. He gets a chance to walk on it for the last time, and when he grows up, he could tell his son or his daughter about it. So,
I have an office that overlooks the viaduct, and I'm so saddened to not hear the ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk of cars going by all day.
Art cars are the only cars making noise on the roadway now. This couple may really be the last to drive the viaduct, at least in their imaginations. The flamingo lady and her ride catch our eye.
This is really crazy. There are so many people dropping by. It's like impressive. And I really enjoy it because this is a one-time moment.
Crowd controllers are no longer checking tickets, trying to get everyone on top before sunset. Still ahead of us, a giant people-powered sculpture and the performance stage, currently featuring a cowboy doing rope tricks. A comedian who looks like the dude jokes we've all taken a ramp to a place that will soon be air. Then an hour after sunset,
with the piece that I call Vistas and Relics Long Gone.
The final official note? Evan Flory Barnes leading an octet in a piece he has composed for this moment.
I'm from Seattle, Washington, born and raised. That piece I wrote is this, vistas and old relics. We let go of these old beat up ways and get ready to embrace the beauty and embrace the growth that's happening here, clearly.
Crowds finally dwindling. Pete finds a photographer on the pavement taking once-in-a-lifetime shots and reminiscing.
The smiles driving to work when all of a sudden the Olympics come out with the snow on it that you can only see from here. It's always a surprise.
Thanks, guys!
Sergeant Sylvester and a small group of bike officers head out to clear the viaduct. Like the dude said, we can't stay here. It will soon be air.
The next morning, 12,000 cyclists pedaled across the viaduct's upper span in one of the biggest bike rides in state history. That was the final public access.
Here we go, let's get it on.
You bet it's fun, but the real benefit is exercise and engagement. That's next on CityStream. CityStream returns from the Pike Market Senior Center, where activities promoting health and social engagement are a priority. Isolation and a lack of exercise are two major concerns for the aging population. Across town, both issues are being addressed without anyone having to leave their chair. Brian Callanan explains.
Grab a ball, set up a net, and get your game face on.
Here we go, let's get it on.
It's time for chair volleyball at the Southeast Seattle Senior Center.
It's fun. It keeps you laughing. It keeps you moving.
Marietta Greaves is here every Thursday afternoon with more than a dozen of her friends. A designation that most often includes her sister, Donetta.
She can hit the ball, and I'm on the other side of that net. And she's aiming for me, and I know it.
What started as a simple chair exercise class turned into this much more intense 6 players per side beach ball game about 2 years ago, as a way to help the more than 600 older adults who come to this center to do more than visit.
People who are not seniors, they assume that all seniors want to do is to knit, crochet, and eat Jell-O. That is so far from the truth.
That's Linda Green, Executive Director of the Senior Center and sometimes chair volleyball player. She knows that across this net, participants are scoring some big points toward their health.
It is so much more than just a game.
Census figures show 28% of us aged 65 or older live alone, which can lead to isolation and poor health. That's why the Senior Center, which touts itself as one of the most diverse in the city, is reaching out with events like this to help people from every walk of life.
We respect all ethnic groups and we encourage people to come. The motto that we use is you may come to the center as a stranger, but you will definitely leave as a friend.
It's the reason Donetta Gillum comes every week.
That's why we do it, because it doesn't matter what your age is. You know, as long as you're active, that's how you make 100 years old.
And as it turns out, Annabelle DeCure is living proof.
I made 100 in December, so I'm over 100.
Let's get it on.
What keeps this centenarian going? A group of players who support her.
I love them. They take good care of me. They help me to hit the ball and have the ball go where it's supposed to go.
Now, on that whole getting the ball where it's supposed to go thing, sitting volleyball is a competitive game with an actual volleyball and no chairs that's been around since 1956, a Paralympic sport since 1980. Chair volleyball for seniors, the beach ball version, has been around for about a decade. But this is one of the few, if not the only, organized version of the game in Seattle. And figuring out the exact guidelines of how to play isn't always easy.
No.
Rules are actually more like suggestions. Standing up if you can balance yourself, that's fine. Hitting it off the ceiling, sure, why not? But at the end of every point, the smiles and a good workout are guaranteed.
As long as you have a ball and you're playing it, you think more fun than exercise, but it's definitely an exercise as you get into it.
We're far superior players.
They built up this confidence, and now they're strategizing, which is awesome, and they're really playing with intensity.
One problem, though. What are the team t-shirts going to look like?
We tried to get Mark to put us in bikinis, but he wouldn't do that. So we still have to discuss uniforms.
Okay, so that needs some work. But if you're ready to have so much fun you can't even stand it, have a seat with some seniors serving up a great time.
They are so supportive of one another. If they didn't see someone last week and they're coming back, well, where were you? We missed you. So everybody feels like they are a part of the family that we form here at our center.
All right.
If you'd like to check out the action or get involved yourself, chair volleyball is on tap every Thursday afternoon at 1:30 at the Southeast Seattle Senior Center. We'll be right back. We're here at the Pike Market Senior Center, and we are joined now by the Deputy Director, Mason Lowe. Mason, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us and letting us visit here today. I know that a lot of the work here, you have a food bank, you have a lot of services, but you provide a lot of meals here to these folks.
We do. Nutrition it's important. So here at the Senior Center, we have breakfast and lunch every day of the week. We do about 4,000 meals every month. Busiest kitchen in the market, right here. And at the food bank, we serve 1,000 households that come through every week.
And I would imagine the number of people that you're feeding now is increasing.
Absolutely. Our numbers at the food bank have they're on a ramp going straight up.
Tell me about the people that are coming here, who they are, and I know you're getting more diverse groups of people coming here.
So anyone that's 55 or up can come to the Senior Center. We have a very diverse clientele. We hear a lot of languages spoken here. We try to reflect that. One of our social workers is fluent in English and Spanish. We have a new resource specialist that speaks Mandarin, Cantonese, and Vietnamese. A lot of our neighbors from the International District just kind of discovered us in the last year, and we want to serve them.
Now, an important thing here is providing community, right? Is that there is no social isolation, that they can have a place where they can come to and be with people.
So one of the most important things that we do here is we offer a place where you can come, be around your peers, meet someone for a cup of coffee. If you live alone, you're not going to be alone here. If you live on the streets, you can find a warm place and a safe place, and it's free. This is an expensive city, so just to have a place where you can come, spend the day, it's important.
I've imagined that the fact that it's a safe place is really important for many of the folks here.
Yeah, especially for our homeless members.
Volunteers, I take it that you could use as many volunteers as you can have.
Absolutely, especially at the food bank. We've got a tiny staff down there, and they have a huge job, and so we're always ready and welcoming for volunteers at the food bank.
Tell me about figgy pudding.
Figgy Pudding is our annual holiday fundraiser. It's December 6th this year. It's the first Friday every December. We bring together dozens of caroling teams from around the Puget Sound. We have high schools that do it. We have families that do it every year. They just kind of work up their set of songs, and on December 6th they're going to come in and fill up downtown around Westlake and sort of sing their hearts out and raise money for the Pike Market Senior Center and Food Bank.
Special moments. Tell me what's been a special moment for you here.
Right out here in this room, we have two members who met each other here. They're in their 60s and 70s. They met, they fell in love, and this was the place where they wanted to get married. And our director, who is able to perform wedding ceremonies, she married them right out here. We had a cake. One of the local bakeries made us a cake. It was a big day.
That's sweet. That's very sweet.
It was so sweet.
I take it that this work is really fulfilling for you.
It is. If you look around Seattle and you see the homelessness, it's really hard to know what to do. What's the right thing to do? And to be able to play some small part in helping someone get through their day, get through their week, it's very rewarding.
Mason, thank you very much for the work you do, but also for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
We have a great staff here, so couldn't do it alone. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
It's a fact. People who know how to grow food eat healthier. One organization's effort to nurture that relationship next on CityStream. As we discuss, good nutrition is especially critical to seniors as their metabolism slows and their dietary needs change. One group taking a down-to-earth approach is Tilth Alliance, a nonprofit that helps people grow and eat healthy food. As Brian Callanan tells us, Seattle's East African community is taking it to heart.
Today we will be cleaning up some of the debris that has fallen down from the trees.
The work is challenging, and the loads can get heavy. But the path this group is taking at the Rainier Urban Farm in South Seattle is the road to good health.
So what they're doing right now is walking over to start filling those wheelbarrows with mulch. If one of you guys want to line up this one, just like we were doing these, I can
Lizzie Stone with the Tilth Alliance, a nonprofit that works on getting more people to grow and eat healthy food, says these seniors from Seattle's East African community have come to the farm every week for the past 7 years.
So we are shoveling this in here so that we can then line the channel here to block our mulch from sliding right into the water.
They've helped grow and preserve nearly 1,000 plants, and in doing so have helped thousands of people, especially seniors in need.
Bring it down a little.
Our program is really important because it makes fresh fruits and vegetables more affordable for folks, and having that be a regular part of your diet when you're an older adult is really important.
That's Maya McCoy, Food Hub Coordinator for Tilth, and her message about senior eating habits carries a lot of weight. The National Council on Aging says as we get older, we need more high fiber and low sodium foods like these fruits and veggies as our metabolism slows down. And to hammer home the concept, these workers are creating a strong link between Seattle's older residents and the food that sustains them.
Having fresh produce and also building community in that way does help people live longer and they feel connected.
And Maya is helping make that connection by delivering produce to the Yesler Terrace community. The Tilth Alliance delivers 130 bags of healthy food per week to this and other ethnic community centers as part of a 10-week program supported by an Innovation Fund grant from the City of Seattle. The food helps bring East African immigrants together and especially helps seniors like Latai Zarity avoid the isolation that researchers say leads to dementia, increased risk of falls, and a shorter lifespan.
I am sick, so my doctor, she told me go this place. You can talk with their friend. You need communication, you need laugh, you need talk.
But with the talk comes some action. Exercise to go along with nutritious food that Zarity says is an important part of her life.
Because it's at home, nobody eat watching the wall. But here, 2 hours is fresh your mind to go.
So we teach our seniors how to stay healthy, and one of the ways of staying healthy is eating fresh fruits and vegetables.
Michael Naguse is a program coordinator for the Senior Meal Program for Seattle's East African communities. Shared meals here are just one way of helping seniors eat right. They're able to take a bag of healthy food back to their families too.
We have a program from the farm to the table, so when they go home, most of the time they get a good food bag.
But for many seniors, home is where the garden is.
After they put in a couple hours hard work on the farm, you sit down and enjoy a meal.
Sean Peterson is Tilth Alliance's Ethnic Senior Meal Program dietitian, who knows the issue of senior isolation can have deep cultural roots.
If you've come from another country, you don't speak the language, it can be very isolating.
And despite the fact some of these workers earn a small stipend, bringing together immigrants from Somalia, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and other countries is no easy task.
And there can be differences amongst those groups.
But you don't need a translator to understand that these people are working together, growing and distributing nutritious food, creating an important cultural exchange, and boosting senior health in a way that's helping all of us.
We all have so much in common. We all enjoy community. We all enjoy working on the farm. We all enjoy sitting down and eating good food. And so kind of building those bridges, I think it's an opportunity for that.
Brian's story aired within a special on Seattle's effort to be an age-friendly city. The show is called Living Longer, Living Well. To see it, go to bit.ly/age-friendly-Seattle. We'll be right back.
This project is fantastic because it's the first restaurant of any RainWise eligible property.
Combined sewer overflows are the biggest source of pollution for Puget Sound. So I think that this program is really helping with that.
You think, sewage, ick. It's about 10% sewage and 90% water. So it's not quite as icky as you think, but at the same time, it's a health issue.
Contractor installed the cisterns, and then they got reimbursed by the county later, so the restaurant owners here didn't have to pay anything out of pocket.
We have a loss of rent, and sometimes just too much, and we try to do something, but I couldn't find what to do. We find out this program, and I asked about it, and we finally get it done.
1, 2, 3. Whoa!
Parking and footprint is a challenge for other restaurants. And what Young's used was these cisterns called slimline, so they're literally 22 inches wide. So they've slid them right up against the wall there, so really it's not taking up that much room.
If you take a look at the cisterns back there, you know, the owners here have put planter boxes back there. It looks beautiful.
Eggplant, cucumber, some of the herb, and special tomato. Wow, the tomato go wow.
It's just a perfect example of what people can do with a cistern.
That wraps up this episode of CityStream from the Pike Market Senior Center. If you'd like to learn more about the programs and services here, just go to pikemarketseniorcenter.org. I'm Enrique Cerna. Thanks for watching.